Good afternoon. My name is the Hero Teacher, and I'll be your examiner for today's IELTS speaking test. I'd like to inform you that this session is being recorded for assessment and quality purposes. Could you please tell me your full name?
Sure. My full name is Güler Ismailova.
And what should I call you?
You can call me Güler.
Thank you, Gila.
Welcome.
Now, in this first part, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself. Let's start with shopping and consumer habits. Do you enjoy shopping?
Well, I consider myself pragmatic when it comes to shopping. I don't do it for leisure. I most of the time find myself purchasing items that are useful for my professional life. Usually high quality copybooks or, stuff from stationery that can be used for my teaching classes.
Do you prefer shopping online or going to physical stores?
Well, it really boils down to what I'm purchasing actually, because if it is something routine or electronics where specs are clear, in that case, I'm all for online shopping. But if it is something about like the fabric matters, in that case, I would prefer to go to the physical store to have the experience touching the product myself, because there is no better substitute to having the ability to touch it, experience it yourself, especially if it is clothing. You can try it on because the size, quality matters here a lot.
Has the way you shop changed compared to a few years ago?
Well, definitely, yes, it has changed. I would say I was more of a traditional shopper who liked to go to different shopping malls to search for items. But now my attention and focus has changed towards digital platforms where I can actually see customer reviews and make comparisons. I have become more reliant on them. And I am now more informed buyer. I make comparisons and I choose something that is suitable for my budget.
All right, let's move on and talk about sleep and rest. How many hours of sleep do you usually get each night?
To be honest, I used to have a normal sleep routine, but thanks to the exam and preparation, it's completely ruined now. I would say for a couple of days, I've been sleeping for just 3 or 4 hours, which is actually, I know, dangerous.
Mm. Do you think you get enough sleep?
Unfortunately, no. It's all because of the preparation. It has always been like that. Whenever I had exams and stuff to prepare, I chose night times to study and to work. That's why my sleep routine changes very often.
Have your sleeping habits changed since you were younger?
No, it has not changed at all. When I was younger, like when I was student at the university or even before that school, I was like this. I used to study during the night and wake up very late. I've kept my habit for many years, the same.
Thank you. Now let's move on to part two. In this part, I'm going to give you a topic and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you speak, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. You can make notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Sure, yes.
All right. I'd like you to describe a time when you had to work as part of a team to solve a problem. Here is your question, here is a pen, and your 1 minute preparation time begins now. right, that's 1 minute. Please begin talking now.
Well, I've always liked to engage in team projects, whether it was small or big, it did not really matter. And I would like to talk about a particular one that I remember now. It was held a few years ago by the language institution that I'm currently working for. The project was to create a comprehensive curriculum for English language development course, and they required us, the teachers, to create 24 individual lessons from scratch. I was the most experienced one among the teachers. That's why probably I was chosen leading team coordinator, and my task was to delegate the tasks equally among the team members. We had a shared file, the digital file, where we could see our work seamlessly and provide feedback on them and, do some peer review check. Because, when you put a lot of teachers together and they create something mutually, it's really important to find the mutual ground so that they follow the same path. At the end, the students' involvement, when let's say the students take the classes, it does not really matter for them whoever is the teaching the class, because there is one standardized way. So additionally, they wanted us create the lessons that were not only engaging, but also they follow the standard plan that the organization had beforehand. At the end, I actually was so happy because of the result that we got. Not only the director and not only the organizers liked it, but also the students said they benefited from the lessons a lot, because all those teachers, they contributed their knowledge, and they thanks to the project that we created, they contributed everything equally. So at the end, we...
Thank you. That is the time. Do you think you would make the same decision again if you were in that situation today?
I would definitely, yes, because creating a lesson is really interesting, especially when you start your career as a teacher. You know the basics, you know the standards, and in that case, you know what you teach. So it's pretty much important for everyone to, at least once in a lifetime, create their own projects.
Thank you. Could I have the card and the pen back, please? Yeah. Thank you. Now, let's move on to part 3. We've been talking about teamwork and collaboration, and I'd like to explore some broader questions related to this topic. Let's consider the role of teamwork and cooperation in society more generally. Do you think the ability to work well in a team is more important today than it was in the past?
Definitely, I think yes, because in the past, professional roles were more, I would say, easy to do in an isolated way. Like you could easily improve yourself having just one narrow skill set. But now it's impossible, because I would say almost every project that we are involved in actually span across different time zones, and they are multifunctional. So we need to kind of elaborate our opinions in different languages even. So we need to know how to communicate our thoughts, how to communicate with different people from different backgrounds. It's really important.
What qualities do you think make someone an effective team leader?
Well, an effective team leader, in my opinion, should definitely have an emotional intelligence. That means the person should be able to understand the others easily, to read the room easily, so they can make sure what is the strength and weakness of any single team member, so they can delegate tasks accordingly. Apart from that, I think transparency is really important, because a team leader should work as a facilitator, where he or she creates a situation that communication flow runs smoothly in both sides.
Is it ever better to work alone rather than in a team?
Why not? Yeah. Yes, we understand teamwork is really important, especially for the projects where you create something where innovation and problem solving, complex problem solving is involved. However, there are specific tasks like For example, writing a thesis or doing an academic research where uninterrupted concentration is important. In those cases, I would say it's not really just better, it's also even important to be in solitary so you can focus fully on your project.
Thank you very much. That is the end of the IELTS speaking test. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.